I have missed you guys so dang much the past couple days. My goodness. Yes, so update. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to come in since I'm a few minutes early, but update is Bronx is doing amazing. So yesterday, he went in on Tuesday. I picked him up Tuesday evening, and then after that was really bad. And then yesterday was pretty bad for him. He was in so much pain. Excuse me. He was in so much pain that it was kind of difficult. And then this morning he woke up wagging his tail, brought me a toy, wanted to play. He was trying to do his zoomies and run and jump, and I'm like, no, you cannot do that. I'm glad you feel better, but you can't do that. So hi, Pokey. And Miss Carol, of course. Yes. So Bronx is doing so much better. I thought it was gonna, just seeing him yesterday, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a rough week. But then today, he is so much better. Hi, Hot Pie. So yeah. Update on grandma though. Hey, Steven. Update on grandma though. Grandma's not doing so well. She coded twice last night. And that was after she ripped out all of her lines and her feeding tube and everything. So they did resuscitate her twice and brought her back, but they did not put the lines back in. So hey, Wolf Angel. So she's just kind of barely hanging on at this point. So my mom's gonna go out there. My grandma lives in Las Vegas, actually. She's lived there my whole life, but she comes here to visit. We go there to visit all the time. So she was just here 3 weeks ago, I think. So my mom's gonna go out there and be with her for probably the remaining time that she has left. So I know I feel bad for taking away his manhood. I've just heard so many different things, and the things that I heard were both, I heard some that were positive and some that were super negative, and I was worried about the big C word in that area, so I wanted to make sure and get them out while I could, but yeah. So, we did it and it's over. So, yeah, I do feel bad though. I really, really do. I was going to do it actually about 2 years ago. I was going to do it and I decided not to actually. And so I'm like, okay, this time I'm just going to go through with it. I'm going to do it. And I did. But I'm glad today he's feeling so much better. I feel like I've missed so much. No, he hasn't. He's not lifting his leg in the house actually. So it's funny you say that, Stephen, because I have before Bronx, I've only had boxers. I had 2 male boxers and then I had a female boxer my whole life for like our family dog. When I was like 3, we got her. And then she passed when I was a teenager. And then after that, I had a male boxer, my brother had a male boxer, and so on. So I got my male boxer fixed and he started lifting his leg in the house again after he was already potty trained. And I'm like, what is going on? So I did prepare myself for that just in case, but Bronx hasn't done any of that. He actually, as soon as we got home, he asked to go out. So, yep, he has not. My audio is chopping in and out. Oh, no. And it just kicked me off. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Audio was fine. Well, now I just messed it all up. Let's see. What did I do last time? Here we go. I got it. All right. There we go. Okay. Hopefully it's okay. Oh, that's so funny, True Crime X. So actually, I took him to the park last night because he was really wanting to run. And I'm like, yeah, no, because first of all, I'm not running with you. Second of all, that's too much right now, right? You've got to heal. So I did take him to the park. And when I say park, it's not like a big dog park where a bunch of other dogs are. It's literally a local gas station by the airport that it has a fenced in area and it's really small. So it's like one dog at a time can go in there. And that's why I take him there because he's been attacked at an actual dog park before. So I'm always worried about that. I actually take him there. It's technically a dog park, but it's not. It's small. So I did take him there last night just so he could walk around. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. I feel like I got some rest with Bronx yesterday and the day before. So yes, I did get him to the park, even though we couldn't do much. He just kind of sniffed, and that's about it. But I found this interesting, and I feel like I seriously have. Hey, Susie Cusey. So I feel like I've missed so much. Let me take this off just in case it's covering anything. I'm sure you guys have seen this, but I just went to check on it. Thank you, on top XX, for the super sticker. Hey, Christina girl. I was wondering if you were coming today. I'm like, she's probably busy. It's okay. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh my gosh, dogs and puppies are just, I don't know what I would be doing with my life without Bronx at this point. He's my guy and we do everything together. I was worried about his surgery because I've never spent a minute without him and obviously vice versa. So, but he actually did so good. So I took him in there and I was really worried about it. And I'm like, he's never been away from me. He's also never seen a cage before. So I don't know what's going to happen here. And that's the part I'm worried about. And they said, oh, well, if he, we can try it. If he doesn't do good, then we'll just send the doctor like out to your car and, type of thing. And we'll figure it out from there. And they tried it and they came back out without him. And she was like, he's super chill. He's fine. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude makes me look like a lunatic. So yeah, that is that with Bronxy. He is doing good. But I found this really interesting. So I checked the documents just before I logged on to start this live today. And I was like, well, that's really interesting. So they have a motion to seal the defendant's supplemental response to the court's order regarding sealed documents. And then the order is sealed as well as the state's response is sealed. So I just found that interesting. Like, what is going? I thought we were unsealing. Like, what is going on here? But the real question is not just what, but why. Like, is something happening here that we're going to see in a couple days or a couple weeks or something? I just found this really interesting. I'm not sure why they're doing all this sealing and the state wants it sealed too. And I don't know. It's very odd. It makes me think that something is going on, like behind the scenes, right? That's what I get from it. Just curious what it is. So I want to, I haven't seen I've seen a couple pictures just on like the front, thumbnail of videos and stuff, but I purposely didn't watch them just so I could watch them with you guys and check them out with you guys. So I'm going to play the Ashley Banfield one for a minute. If we get bored with it, then we'll just turn it off. Not a big deal. So I'm going to play this for a few minutes. Let me make it bigger. There we go.
Of Bryan Kohberger as the monster we all know him to be behind those dead eyes. But now he actually shows himself that way.
That's the one
I have no idea why he took this picture. No clue why, but there's a couple of different angles of it. Very bizarre.
Hi, Fizzy.
I mean, I guess we've all made funny faces, but knowing who he is, it's not funny. Nothing about him is funny anymore, especially knowing he's always alone when he's showing these pictures.
That's what I saw, Fizzy. I saw that picture that was just on there, that like monster face, like silly crazy face. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sure Ashley Banfield is just going in deep on this guy, right?" And I'm like, that seems super normal to me. Like, what is going on? Why is she being like that? I think that
Many of
that
the
one.
pictures are taken in his bathroom, as we've already known from some we've seen before, especially the infamous selfie that was taken right after the murders, where he gave the thumbs up, and we saw the band-aid on his ring finger, imagining that may have been because he cut himself during the murders. Well, in one of these new pictures, he's actually shirtless in his bathroom and he's saluting himself,
Wait,
imagining that
is that a shower? That's a shower curtain. Wait a minute. I thought this picture didn't have a shower curtain.
before, especially the
It's right there. What the heck? What is going on? Didn't we all see this picture and there was no shower curtain? There's always been a shower curtain? I don't even remember. Like, I thought it wasn't there, and it might have just been because somebody in mainstream media said it wasn't there. And I never like really looked at it enough to notice if it was there or not. But because they said it, I was like, wait a minute. There's not a shower curtain. And then I'm just sitting here like, holy crap, there is a shower curtain. Okay. And you guys say it's always been there. Interesting. It was cropped out, that's why. Okay, got it. Yeah, I never dug into this picture enough to know if it was cropped or anything. I saw it a handful of times on thumbnails, but I never like ever clicked on the picture itself to like dig deep into it.
infamous selfie that was
Interesting.
taken right after the
Wow,
murders,
what
where he gave the thumbs
asshole.
up, and we saw the band-aid on his ring finger, imagining that may have been because he cut himself during the murders. Well, in one of these new pictures, he's actually shirtless in his bathroom and he's saluting himself. But what's interesting is that it's taken in December of 2022. That's either 4 to 6 weeks after, actually, it could be anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks after the murders. And when he is saluting, you can see his ring finger again. Weeks later, the band-aid's gone, but the wound.
Okay, so well, that does not look like a wound that a 7-inch K-bar would make. Not by any means. Even a slight nick from that would be way worse than that, in my opinion, anyways. And if that's from like a fist fight, like somebody's tooth, it wouldn't be that direction. Number one, it would be the other way. And number two, it would be like super gnarly and swollen if it was a tooth, because when you hit somebody in the mouth, not always, but a lot of times you'll get this thing on your hand called like tooth rot or mouth rot or something like that. And it's a bacteria from your teeth that will get into the person's hand that punched the person in the mouth, and it'll get super infected and swollen and nasty. So to me, that doesn't look like a from a fist fight, like hitting somebody's tooth. I mean, that almost looks like he snagged it on something on accident. It's an odd finger, though. Could be, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Susie Cusey says, can you imagine if people were analyzing all the photos and selfies that we take on our phones? Geez, everybody takes selfies on their phone, usually never even sent out to people, just private photos. Exactly. And hey, Scala. And what I was saying, I think it was like last week or the week before, when the Barnhart said, the weird part about it is that it's so creepy. He didn't even send the pictures to anybody. And I'm like, what? Wouldn't it be the other way? Like, it would be more creepy if he was taking pictures like this and sending them to females without them asking for it. That would be creepy. But the fact that he didn't do that, they're saying that's creepy. Like, what? Those people drive me nuts. Just like the
Is still
prosecution, where they word things a certain way just to make it sound a certain way when that's not the actual fact of it. I'm so glad they weren't able to be called to the stand because they would have been so biased in their answers.
There. The wound on that finger, on that knuckle, is still there. And I don't know if this happened during the murders. All I can tell you is that wound was bandaged the morning of the murders when he took that self-righteous and self-important selfie in
We're
his
riding down
bathroom,
the
all
rabbit hole.
showered up. So
The
proud.
devil woman.
That Band-Aid was visible on that same ring finger. I'm just going to venture a guess he didn't go off and do all the.
Yeah, I'm going to stop this just for a second. Writing down the rabbit hole. I almost said hill. School shooting in Colorado. This violence needs to stop. Prayers for all. When was the Colorado one? Was that today? Ashley drives me up the wall. Up the wall. Was the Colorado? Yeah, she is weird. Was the Colorado thing today? I agree, Scola. Today it was. How many were there any people that didn't survive? Oh, wow. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Okay, thank you. I heard the one yesterday, but I was making sure there wasn't another one today. Yeah, I think that I don't know what you guys think about the Charlie Kirk thing, but my very initial thought was it's 2025 and this just happened to Trump not that long ago. How is this even possible without being purposeful? Do you catch my drift? Like, that's weird. That seems strange. Seems strange to me. Nobody should be unalived because of their point of view. But no, I'm not going to watch the video. Nope. I just wanted to touch base on it since we do, crime stuff and technically that would be a crime. I'm just not sure at this point. I personally don't have enough information on it. I just think it's 2025. How is that happening? How does a person get on a roof with a weapon like that at an event like that and hit him in the neck from that far away? And nobody did anything. And I've heard some things about some signaling from the people that were supposed to be security right before that happened. So I'm not sure. I don't have enough information to know if it's legit or staged or type of thing. So I don't know. Oh my gosh, no way, Liv. Liv said the casing had writing on it, just like Luigi. Ah, interesting. Very interesting.
Those stabbings with a Band-Aid. Maybe he did. I don't know. But these pictures are so telling. There's one picture in particular that is an affectation of some kind, but it just looks like something out of a horror movie. He looks like he's got the face from a Halloween mask. It's an affectation, like I said,
Wow,
a blur. It's a lighting issue, but it's just so scary when you see it. Again, I don't know if he was trying to look scary, if this was an accidental picture, but
stop it.
I mean,
Ashley.
it's just Michael Myers, just
What?
so incredibly freaky. There's so many.
Because he took a picture with his phone moving and it wasn't like stable enough to get a picture that wasn't blurry. Who doesn't have a blurry picture on their phone? Oh my gosh. I have pictures exactly, Fizzy. I have pictures of trying to take a picture of Bronx and he like runs away too fast and then it's just a picture of like my floor. Like what? I feel like at this point we all need to post pictures, like random pictures of ourselves or whatever that we have in our phone that we've never shared with anybody, that if you were considered a unaliver, that it would make you look a certain way. that people could judge it, because everybody has pictures in their phone that are blurry or aren't what they're supposed to be or funny faces or whatever. She is a nutcase.
The other pictures that, again, knowing who he is now, speak volumes. And I show you these pictures not just for the prurience of seeing someone I believe is a freak. He's just not one of us. He's in the category of Dahmer and BTK, right? I show this because I'm still interested in Dahmer. I'm still interested in BTK. I'm still interested in John Wayne Gacy. I want to know, A, how they tick, why they did these things. What are they like? How are they so different from us? And maybe most importantly, how can I recognize it in the people who are yet to come?
Fizzy.
Because we know there are more of these.
Fizzy says, I just Googled Ashley's selfies and there's tons of them by herself. She's a hypocrite. We all have them. That's why I'm like, what is she talking about? Even if they're crappy, even if they're weird, even if they suck, even if they're blurry, everybody has pictures like that. She needs to get her life and sit down.
Monsters out there, probably right now, among us, the wolves in sheep's clothing, walking among you. How can we recognize them? What pieces to the puzzle can we put together to just get a little bit smarter, to just know a little bit more about who these animals are that do these horrific things to us? Because otherwise, if we did nothing, we'd be lambs to slaughter, and we may just be anyway. But I'm going to do my damnedest to try to figure out every motherfucking thing about people like this. So the photos are all we have to go on.
I feel like
so let's keep going through the pictures. And what's fascinating is that so many that are taken after the murders, and they're so self-important. He's flexing, he's shirtless.
I'm looking for like these wounds that she's talking about, seeing if there's any more. What is he doing with his fist though? Like, I feel like this right here shows us that he definitely did not fight Kaylee or Xana at all. Because if he did, he would have lost. Look at the way he makes a fist. Like, you guys, he is losing every fight. I don't care if it's with a girl or a goldfish. He's losing.
He's admiring his ass in front of the mirror in so many of the pictures. Originally, I thought it was just one.
Why does it have to be admiring? Why can't it just be, I don't know what I look like, so I need to take a picture to see? I don't know if they look like they fit right. What the heck? You're trying to tell me that she, Ashley Banfield, has never taken a picture of herself trying on clothes in a dressing room to see what they look like? Get out of here.
One. I thought it was just one picture with a new pair of jeans where he had the tag on it and he was admiring his butt, or at least looking if his ass looked fat in those jeans. And the truth was his love handles were hanging out, the hem, right? The waistband.
She's making fun of somebody that has an eating disorder for having love handles. I'm pretty sure probably every one of us here have love handles. If you don't, you're lucky. Actually, they're kind of cute, but
there's a bunch more of those pictures too. Those dark jeans. And I don't know, I have no clue if he was ever photographing any of the pictures of the clothes that he wore for the murders, likely the clothes that he discarded, buried or sank or did something. He did something to get rid of the clothes that he wore at 1122 King Road that night. But who knows if he bought some special or stole some special to have no evidence of purchase. Who knows? I did notice in a lot of these pictures, you zoom in, you see all these little details, right? Like they don't fuck with cats. People always zoom in on the pictures. I love that. I noticed the bottles of Pure Life water. Pure Life, huh, Bryan? Really? Pure Life, important to you? Really? Pure Life? Life?
Oh my, get the heck. Oh my God, this woman. Okay. that to me felt like she's trying to be like us, and I don't mean like specifically us or our channel. I mean like our community. You know how we take things and then we'll dig into it and ask questions about it and mention like these small little details, right? I feel like that's exactly what she was just trying to do, but she missed the mark terribly. Because of what water he drinks. Oh my gosh. That is wild. She is literally talking about like trying to pick out a small detail that would be interesting and it's not.
Important to Bryan Kohberger, right? He had a whole case of this shit in his apartment when they
Exactly, Susie.
executed the warrant and took all those photos of his meager existence in Pullman, Washington. And again, these pictures are from his meager little existence in
You're
Pullman,
right,
Washington,
Dakota.
before he left for Pennsylvania. But there will be some pictures. I will show you some pictures from his home in Pennsylvania that he shared with his
Hot
parents.
pie.
One really weird picture that shows him, and I'll get to it in a minute, but shows him with some plastic bags on the floor. And we know he was arrested in the middle of putting his garbage, using plastic or using rubber gloves to put his garbage into little plastic bags to seal them. I have a
They have to in Pennsylvania. They have to separate their garbage. Why are they trying to make it something that it's not?
lot of pictures coming up, including some very weird ones of Bryan holding up notebooks with his name and dates, and then these strange characters below. And I actually have seen these notebooks in the pictures that the detectives took when they executed the warrant, but they had digitized what the letters were. Well, now we can see them without the digitization, and maybe some of you eagle eyes are going to recognize what the codes are. I can't. That's coming up in just a moment. But first, I would be remiss if I didn't give a really big thank you to you for supporting this channel. I could not do this without you. We are a community. I saw many of you at CrimeCon, and I love that. I also couldn't do this without my sponsors. They really make this podcast possible. Shut up. Morgan.
Shut up, lady.
I'm starting with a lot.
And you're right, Stargazer says, did she forget about COVID? And what's crazy is I also forget about COVID, though. I do. And I forget that it was around this time where it was, I mean, I think in 2022, it was still pretty much going on a little bit, right? I forget about that and have to remind myself sometimes. So, yeah, she does. I did.
A lot of the pictures that he took before the murders. Many of the hiking pictures were taken in, June and July and August. We don't know about pictures in September. This one is a strange one in a restaurant. I'm not sure which restaurant this one is in. I assume it's a restaurant. I think he set his phone up, say on the salt shaker, took himself a selfie there with these curtained walls. And you can just make out there's like the bathrooms are behind him. So that's my assumption that is.
Or maybe he's eating lunch with somebody and they took a picture of him and sent it to him too. Like, what? She's a nut job. Okay, yep. Steven says COVID masks were still on in early 2022. So yes. Whoops. Hot Pie says, how did she get all of these? I'm going to assume it's the Barnharts. I think that these are from Cellbrite. And I think that the Barnharts are the ones who are putting these out or selling them to media, probably making a pretty penny off of them. Oh, that reminds me, I have to tell you guys something. So, you know that I've put in tons and tons of FOIAs for all different types of stuff, all different counties and everything. And I've been denied for some of them, like such as I asked for Bryan Kohberger's transport videos. So on the body cam or in the police car, the videos or even just audio of him being transferred from one jail to another, one county to another, whether it was in the beginning for a court date, it doesn't matter. I asked for all of them, and I asked for them in every county that he would have been in and transferred from or to, and they told me they don't exist. So that I find interesting, and I'm very, very interested to see if anything like that ever comes out, because they told me those don't exist at all. But the other interesting thing I found out is I asked for certain pictures of certain stuff, and I was told that there are over 7,000 crime scene photos that they are currently in the process of redacting, and they're going to put them out in like groups like they already have basically, but apparently there's tons more. There are total over 7,000 crime scene photos. And I don't think any of us have ever really gotten a number as far as how many photos they have. So to be told by law enforcement that there's over 7,000, I found that just getting a number was a little bit interesting because I haven't heard a number yet. So yeah, they said 7,000. So I was like, that's interesting just to have a number. Yeah, and I did FOIAs for like Idaho State and in Pennsylvania and the counties and everything. So I've only gotten a response back on a couple of them, and those were in there, and the other ones were, they say completed, but they didn't give me anything. So I don't know.
He's in some restaurant, maybe in Moscow, maybe in Pullman.
Yeah,
This one
yeah.
I look at because I see a shower curtain. And when I see him taking pictures of himself in the bathroom and I see a shower curtain, it just makes me sad again, because we know that eventually he removed the shower curtain from his Pullman, Washington apartment. When they executed the warrant, there wasn't one. And that's why I assume he probably took a shower after the murders, and as a criminology student knew that any trace blood that was on him that he was showering off may have gotten onto the shower curtain, so better to just get rid of it. So it's always sad when you see the shower curtains that are still intact in the bathroom selfies that he takes. He takes a lot of pictures
Exactly.
from different angles. So there's this, 2 in a row that are the same. It's just the same shirt, same location. Sometimes he tries smiling. Sometimes he tries to brood and look tough, but he does take a bunch of pictures of the same scene, and sometimes the same shirt, and now he's driving. I don't know if it's the same day or not,
Well,
but
who
here he is
cares?
driving, and here he is hiking in that same shirt as well. Thumbs up. Boy, he sure likes that, doesn't he? Sure likes to.
Hey, stupid Ashley, that should tell you that that picture from the morning after the unalivings it wasn't just one picture of him doing that because of that reason, right? That should tell her that's just what he does. Like, why is she so unintelligent?
Be proud of himself with the thumbs up. That just every time I see that fucking thumb, I want to shove it. Yeah, you know what I mean. This one is the upsetting one. I don't know what he was doing here. It's just so creepy. It's
Right?
so Michael Myers. Knowing now what he did and see.
How is this creepy? Do you want to know what he's doing here? I know exactly what he's doing. He's running and probably like pulled out his phone to change the music or, answer a call or decline a call or whatever. I bet he's running here and maybe accidentally took a picture or tried to purposefully take a picture, but he's just running. He's literally mid stride running, and she's too dumb to freaking realize that. Holy cow, he's running. And she's trying to say he looks like Michael Myers. Ugh.
seeing this. I think it's that thing you can't
The
unsee.
reach.
This is
Yeah.
an interesting picture. He's very sweaty. He's all dressed in black. It's obviously nighttime. I'm wondering if he's out for one of his late night runs and he has stopped in front of the Cougars
Oh,
statue, because that's the
Victor.
mascot for Washington State University, the Cougar. He even has a sweatshirt that has the Cougars on it. You'll see that a little later on. But, here he is, all proud of himself, sweaty and soaking wet. Okay, this is the weird stuff. I can't quite make it out, but he takes a lot of these pictures. He rips something out of a binder and he writes little codes, and he tries to write them backwards and forwards because he knows that the camera or the mirror is.
Listen to her language. She says he ripped a piece of paper out of the binder. Well, how come he didn't just, I mean, he could have just pulled it out. Like he could have just pulled out a piece of paper. Like she has to purposely word things like it's just terrible. He ripped the paper.
Is
Stop
going
it.
to reverse them. But he has all these codes that almost look like airline codes, like airline tickets. We haven't been able to figure out what the codes are, but a lot
What?
of these pictures, he'll snap of himself holding up a piece of paper like this with a date, his name, and one of these codes. And he snapped a whole bunch of these. See, there's one of them, right? With Bryan Koberger, 07/11/2022, right? July 11, 2022. And then there's that code.
Why would she think that is for airplane tickets? She herself just said there's tons of them. Like there's, or whatever she said, there's several of them, I think she said, with his name in different codes, right? So why would that be for an airline ticket? That doesn't even make sense. You know what it's probably for? Some sort of website where you have to prove who you are with your face and the date, and they'll give you a verification code that you have to write on there as well. I've had to do that before. I don't get it. And who cares if it was for an airline ticket? Why does she have to make everything seem so nefarious with him? He's literally just proving his identity in probably something for something online. Like, what? Good
It
Lord.
looks like an airline ticket, right? Um, the strange thing is that when the investigators photographed these weird notebook notations with the large letters with Bryan Koberger, a date, and then they actually redacted. They put a black box over the codes. Maybe they didn't know what the codes were either, but now we do because we can see them in the photos. But there's a lot of those. Now it kind of makes more sense, even though it doesn't make sense. What's he doing? What is he photographing? His name, a certain date, and an airline ticket. Maybe he's documenting his travels. Yet again, another bathroom selfie.
Ashley, it doesn't have to make sense for you because it's not for you. He didn't take them for you. It's not anything you need to make sense of. Literally just probably verifying his identity. Ooh, big deal.
Lindsay, is this the
Holy.
one? Are we zeroed in on this one? It's where he's checking his ass out in the new jeans, in the new dark jeans. Is this like a close up or is this a different shot?
This is unfortunately a different shot.
This is another shot of,
Yes.
yeah. His face is so like, I don't know, pathetic. This is, there's a series of these. I didn't realize that when I saw the first one, I didn't realize there's a whole series of him checking out his butt in these new jeans that he bought. He's still got the price tag on him. God help anybody
So
out there if he
funny.
returned them and someone else is
Hi,
wearing them.
Wellington.
Or I mentioned this on my last night's podcast. I wonder if he's out purchasing clothes for the murders
True
or
is.
stealing clothes for the murders so that there's no sign of a purchase. Because you know,
Stealing clothes? Now she's accusing him of stealing clothes? First of all, Ashley, oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure he didn't buy and wear jeans to go unalive somebody. Yeah, I'm going to go unalive some people today. Let me go get a fresh pair of jeans and then take pictures of myself in them. Is she missing something in her brain?
well, these clothes are never going to show up anywhere else. Where whatever he murdered these kids wearing, he got rid of that. He got rid of it. There's no way he would have been dumb enough to keep it and launder it because there was a lot of blood.
Crazy.
There was.
And for her to even say that is so dumb because she believes what Dylan said. She believes Dylan's story. And Dylan said the intruder was dressed in all black, head to toe, all black. Denim is not black, ma'am.
There was hand-to-hand combat with Xana Kernodle. There's just no way that he wasn't
Victory.
covered and that he didn't get rid of his clothes. Here's an interesting one. He's at a ball game of some sort. This is again before the murders, so my assumption is this is on the West Coast. Maybe
You know what though? Didn't he tell one of his like students or the faculty that he worked with? Didn't he say he didn't like sports? That's interesting.
Washington, but he's pretty proud of himself. And then I wondered if this was him actually taking the picture so he could see the girl over his shoulder.
Oh my God. Is she serious? Or maybe he's just taking a picture with the field behind him because it looks like he might have had good seats. Maybe that. Maybe it's with the girl behind him. Maybe he thinks she's cute. Like, good Lord.
I'm not sure if she's in the band or she's a broadcaster or what's going on there with her, but I did suspect that was maybe what his motive was to snap that picture and get the girl in it. Because the other pictures, she's not over his shoulder. Okay, this picture looks to be like he's standing in front of the state capitol. Lindsay, is that green flag the state flag for Washington State?
The band
Yes, it
in
is.
baseball.
So this is Olympia. Capital of Washington State is Olympia. And I'll bet he's just on a little, I don't know, maybe a little field trip.
That's
He's
what I'm
wearing one
waiting
of that
for.
same t-shirts that you see him wearing a lot out on his hikes, a lot of his pictures. Is that Mount Hood? I'm guessing, maybe. That's sort of a famous landmark in Washington State.
God.
He sure seems to like to photograph himself outside while he's hiking and in front of key locations. He's not very good with a camera. He's always half in the shade and he tries to smile. There's that goddamn thumbs up again. I just want to hit him. Every time I see the thumbs up, I just get sick to my stomach because I know what he did the morning after the murders. So more of these hiking pictures out and about. Seem to be quite an outdoorsman. Remember he had the bear spray? When they photographed his apartment, they had an unopened can of bear spray, maybe for the hikes, maybe for victims. Who knows? Who knows what he was planning to do?
What would you use bear spray for victims for? What? Is bear spray a weapon? I'm so lost. What does that mean? Bear spray for the victims? What? What?
But in a lot of his pictures, he tries to look really macho and handsome. And then he does this smile and it's all is revealed. Let's just put it that way. All is revealed.
His teeth?
So let's keep moving. These again, I'll remind you, are November 13th. They're pre-murder. Here he is. Let's go back to that one. Here he is checking himself out in a new shirt. It's got the tag still on it in front of what looks like some kind of a TJ Maxx sort of store with shoes behind him. I don't know if the shoes he's wearing are what he wants to see, as well as the shirt. Lindsay, go down
it's
to
actually a Ross.
his feet.
I just looked at the tag. I think that's a Ross. And
that's why.
A Ross Dress for Less?
Yeah.
Bear spray is like 50 times of mace. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? Duh. I wasn't even thinking of it like that. I was thinking a type of spray for bears that would make them like not smell you and then not want to come near you type of thing rather than as like a weapon, like a mace. That's not what I was thinking of. That's funny.
I think that's like one of the tags on this shoe. I think it is. It's a Ross.
Can you pan down to the shoes
Ross.
so we can take a look and see if he's trying on shoes as well as the shirt? Do you see tags there? No. Oh, God. You know what I wonder about those black shoes? Just like the other stuff, he's dressed all in black when he kills the 4 University of Idaho victims. I wonder if those were the shoes.
Probably.
And I wonder if he got rid of them. You know, one of the things you'd have found out in the trial is if the shoes and all the photos were found when they executed any of the warrants, right? So you would know, we executed warrants, we found all these shoes in your apartment. Exactly. Where are these? The ones in these photos? Because oftentimes they're, the stuff that the killer gets rid of. Here's something pretty eerie. Bryan Kohberger in the dark.
Another picture of him running. I bet you anything. I bet anything he's running in this picture.
I cannot help but think that this was the face that was looming over these poor victims in the 1122 King Road house, although he did cover himself with a mask, because he's just so brave, courageous. Here he is again, another one of these weird photos where he does a selfie with the notes, that he's written out in giant letters. This is August 17th, 2022, Brian Koberger, and then he's got that strange code. And again, it looks like an airline, reservation code, but maybe it's something else. Maybe he's tracking his weight. Maybe he's tracking something else, but he sure did have a few of these on his phone, different versions of it, different dates, different codes. But then also the investigators found those pages and photographed them in his apartment. Again, more strange selfies. This one looks like he got a real tight fade. Maybe he didn't like the haircut because he really got wigged out about it, pardon the pun, and he took lots of pictures of the Brillo pattern that his hair showed in the back of his head. You can see his earbuds and wanted to see it up close, I guess. I'm not sure what he's doing there other than maybe tensing. I don't know what it's showing,
his fist, like white knuckling right there.
Yeah, it really is. He's white knuckling.
Huh? Let me see. Oh no, that doesn't work. I was going to try and blow it up, but that doesn't work. That looks really odd where his knuckles are. Not the big one, but to the right of that. It looks weird, like he doesn't even have fingers at all. That looks really strange. Huh. Wait a minute. Why can't you hold on? That's edited. That is super edited. Look, you would see the toothpaste or the splashing or whatever's on the mirror. You would still see that. How is his hand in front of the splashing in the mirror? Do you guys see what I'm talking about? You wouldn't be able to cover that up with your hand. It's a mirror. There should be spots on the mirror where his hand is. That is so weird. That's edited, you guys. That's super edited. What the heck? Ashley probably did Photoshop all of these herself. Yeah, that's really weird. Oh, that's super edited. That's odd. Why would they do that? What is the point? To make him look so tough and strong so they can prove that he's the unaliver. Oh my God.
Is there any other telltale signs there other than the shower curtains there? Any other telltale signs in that picture?
Another one. This one actually looks worse.
It's the same thing. How is there no water spots where his hand is? I'm baffled right now. This does not make sense. This is so weird. Yeah. It does look like it's in a pocket or something, but it's like the spots on the mirror shouldn't be covered up by his hand. You know what I'm saying? Like the the spots would be, you'd be able to see them like the spots were on top of the hand type of thing, but because it's a reflection, his hand wouldn't be able to cover up the spots in the mirror because it's a reflection. So what the heck?
That's another
really
picture.
Red. Yeah.
Wait, that's another
really
picture.
Red.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, this is a second picture. And he's clenching his knuckles even harder. It's very strange. More pictures of the fade.
Yeah, that's super
The
edited.
hair. Vein.
How is it vein? Look. Not this
And,
shit.
he's clenching his knuckles even harder. It's very strange. More pictures of the face.
What is that? What is in the sinkhole thing? It looks like hair. It looks like it's full of hair. What's in there? Yeah, I think only mainstream media got these pictures. They probably bought them from the Barnharts, is what I'm assuming, for a pretty penny. It's not. Like, it's really difficult to do that with your hand. Like, what the heck? Seriously though, what's in this hole in the sink? Do you guys see that? It looks like hair. What is in this sinkhole? What's in the hole? The hairy hole.
The hair.
Right there. He cut it himself. There's the freaking what do you call them? The buzzer thingies. My God, what do you call them? He cut it himself. He's taking pictures to see if it's even. That he didn't miss a spot when cutting his own hair. Look, you can even see his reflection in the other mirror. He's very clearly trying to just make sure he didn't mess up. But, oh my gosh, he's an unaliver because of this. Holy cow.
Vain. Absolute vanity on this guy. Another creepy one. So many creepy ones.
How's that creepy?
I wonder what he saw when he looked in the mirror. I wonder.
Hold on.
Another creepy one. So many creepy ones.
That's not a V-neck, is it? Is that a V-neck? Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the one court hearing where Bryan Kohberger was on Zoom and everybody questioned if he was even in a courtroom or in a cell or whatever, because the background looked like it was somebody's house or somebody's office or something. And he wore this same colored shirt. Do you guys remember which one that was? Let me see. It's this one. It is with Judge Hippler. Here, let me just screenshot it. Doobie. And this one here. And this one here. And not that one. Let me remove this one. Stop it. And put this one on here. Do. Yeah. Look what I made. Do you guys remember the one on the right, the court hearing? I think it was to like unseal documents or something. And some people thought he looked like he was maybe beat up or whatever. But the shirt is what caught my eye because people weren't sure like where he was at. Some people were like, it looks like somebody's house or somebody's office. And this is when everybody was questioning, like, is this even real? And I found the color of his shirt strange when I was watching this court hearing. And I'm like, that's weird. You don't often see people in county jail in that color. It does kind of look like a house or an office or something, but it doesn't look like he's in county jail for sure. Especially with that shirt on, looked strange to me. But then look at the picture on the left. He actually owns that shirt. He owns that shirt. He doesn't have very many clothing pieces, you guys. I mean, we all saw that. He doesn't have very many. But this looks very similar. He does own that same shirt that he was in when he was in jail. That looks like somebody's house or office. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's go back to the deeply disturbing pictures. Dun, dun, dun. Not.
I wonder what he saw when he looked in the mirror. I wonder honestly what he saw. Before the murders, I wonder what he saw. And after the murders, I wonder what he saw. Okay, now I can tell you that this is, of course, as you know, the infamous picture from the morning of the murder. So this is November 13th. And there are pictures.
This is so crazy to me that they cropped that out, the shower curtain out, because even Steve G was like, oh, something about his shower curtain, and that's what he used the plastic to blah, blah, blah. Do you remember? Now, it's proved wrong. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, deeply disturbing. Regular ass selfies are deeply disturbing, you guys. Apparently, we are all disturbing to her.
That are now dated as we move away from the 13th. After he took this awful picture, he took plenty more selfies as he moved along. What date is this one, Lindsay?
These are both from November 25th, 2022. And then when we move forward, it's December 2nd.
This is December 2nd. So he's still in his apartment in Pullman. No idea what's coming his way in a month and a bit. Takes a lot of the same pictures. Do you notice? Like there's always a sequence.
Yeah. And it's interesting. He's taking, this is after the murders. We're literally seeing the change after the murders.
The change in his persona.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you're about to go to. Oh, the shirtless ones.
This one is dated December 2nd also.
Is it December 2nd?
So this would be,
Okay. So, hey, wait a second, Lindsay. Zero in on his ring finger, December 2nd. So this is only 2 weeks after the murders.
And that looks deep. And I'm going to say this because I have cut myself on accident.
That does not look that deep, really. But, I mean, it's in a weird spot. And it looks much smaller than what I'd expect to be from an accidental or whatever nick from a K-bar. I'm just looking at the clothes in the background, seeing what he's got.
Accident on my fingers with a vegetable slicer.
Yes.
And it looked like that when it was just sliced and it was raw.
Oh, there you go, guys. It was him, and the other weapon was a vegetable slicer. Dun, dun, dun. Just kidding. Just kidding.
And this is his left hand. To my knowledge, I don't know if he's right-handed or left-handed, but he seems to be right-handed because he takes his pictures with his right hand. So maybe as he...
I don't even remember. Is he right or left-handed? I can't remember. I asked this before, and I actually looked it up before.
Was in a fight, he nicked his own left ring finger. But again, he had the bandage.
It couldn't have been from the unalivings because the red fluid they have at the scene wasn't his. Remember, they didn't test it far enough to figure out whose it was, but they know it wasn't Bryan Kohberger's. They know it's an unknown male. So obviously that nick on his knuckle couldn't have happened then, or it would have been everywhere. Everywhere we would have heard, he left his own red fluid at the scene, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No, that didn't happen because of the unalivings. That didn't happen.
On that finger, the morning of the murders, if you zoom in, the ring finger, you can see that knuckle bandaged. So that's the 13th of November. And you said this is December 2nd, the saluting picture?
Yeah.
2.5 weeks later, it's still healing, but the bandage isn't on it. in this,
She really isn't very intelligent, you guys. Like, she's really not.
half naked selfie. I don't know what he's trying to see in himself there. He looks sort of like a war victim almost.
Maybe he thought he looked cool.
Yeah,
More
this one
selfies with the
is
thumbs up.
3 days later.
His skin looks really nice. Like, I like the lighting in this picture. I think he looks nice in this picture.
3 days after that saluting picture. So that would be December 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Another selfie.
That's right.
This
right.
one is
Washington State University black hoodie.
He's
And Lucy says Bryan Kohberger is right-handed when he waived speedy trial August 2023. You can see the hearing him signing the waiver right-handed. And didn't the guy that Lana had on, Scott Roeder, didn't he say that he would presume that the person who committed the crime, at least upstairs, I believe, is left-handed? Yeah. So a professional thinks that a left-handed person did this.
He's at his apartment. This is 12/9. This
Yep.
series.
These are from December 9th. The series of, I don't know what he was doing. I wonder if it's possible he got back into drugs. You know, I wonder if any of it is possible.
She thinks he got back, he got back into drugs because he takes selfies? What? You've got to be kidding me.
If he got back into drugs during any of this, during the murders, I wonder.
funny.
This looks like Ted Bundy.
Does.
This does?
Does.
She cannot be serious. What about this picture looks like Ted freaking Bundy? Is she insane? Oh my God.
And we know he was watching Ted Bundy
This person looks like Ted Bundy.
videos before they arrested him.
Now he keeps putting his bangs back, and knowing what we know now, I don't know. It seems weird. Why is he doing that? Does he want to look at himself, how he might have looked? And I kind of, when we get to the next pictures, you'll kind of see why I think this.
Interesting.
Let's see.
These are from
True Crime X says Jimmy Mackey is likely left-handed. Interesting.
Is this the drive across the country with his dad?
Yes.
So here he is in a vehicle. Obviously, it's the white Elantra. That's what they were driving across the country. Dad was in the passenger seat for a couple of those police stops. Here he is at night. And you just imagine, like, dad's in the seat beside him more than likely, and he's snapping these selfies, unless he's at some, gas station stop. But this is a picture. I keep thinking of what it looked like when he was driving in that white Elantra to murder those kids in the dark. This is what it looked like. He's behind the wheel.
It wasn't in the dark. It wasn't in the dark, and it wasn't Bryan Kohberger. So, lady.
It's dark. Maybe there's a headlight behind him every so often. Who knows? But this is the scene. Like, this is what it looked like when he was on his way to a quadruple murder. But
yes, Ashley, this is what it looks like when somebody drives a vehicle and takes a selfie while doing it. Holy crap.
What you're seeing is the getaway, weeks later.
Do you think that he wanted to see what he looked like?
I wonder.
Weird.
I wonder if that's what it is, if he wanted to see what it looked like while he was driving away in the dark. And also when he puts the hoodie over his face and it's the day before he's arrested, he just tries to look so scared.
I don't really think his eyebrows are like overly bushy.
Very like a serial killer. It upsets me to see him with a dog. It made me angry. It's like he doesn't deserve dogs. I wonder whose dog it is, if it's his parents'
He's at
dog.
home at this point. Yep.
He's in Pennsylvania for this, right? This is the parents' house?
December 18th. All of these. And then the dog one is the 19th, but starts with the 18th right here. Yeah, there he is with his black wash U sweatshirt on with the hoodie up. And he took a few of these pictures and they're just disturbing, the look that he gives the camera.
Exactly. He's young and single.
These are the
Even if he
most
wasn't,
disturbing.
who
I mean,
doesn't take
these and the clown
selfies?
face that he made. He really does want to check out his physique.
That hand like that, him flexing like that cracks me up. Like, there's no way he got in a fight with anybody. No way.
He really likes to see himself flex. These
are all 2 days before Christmas.
2 days before Christmas, the 23rd?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You know, she's making fun of him, and I bet you anything the reason he's doing this and flexing is because we all know he struggles with an eating disorder, right? So maybe he has been eating healthier or put on a couple pounds actually and is checking himself out. Like, look, I put on a little bit of weight and now I have a little bit of my muscle back. Like, that's probably what it is. And not to mention, we all know that eating disorders, well, maybe not all know, but eating disorders causes you to have, body issues. So it's really common for people to take pictures and then get inside their own head about it. Like, okay, I need to change this, I need to change that. But taking pictures of your body is normal.
Interesting he didn't take any pictures of Christmas and the holidays, and they didn't put them in these files. Again, this is a driving shot, isn't it? In the dark.
Christmas Eve.
This is Christmas Eve. He's driving on Christmas Eve, taking a shot of himself behind the wheel of his white Elantra in the dark, which, as we all know, is exactly what he did so often, skulking around 1122 King Road for months and months, casing the place in the dark.
This is Christmas.
This is Christmas Day?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice. I'm going to take a selfie on Christmas Day. No Christmas theme.
This is Christmas. This is it too.
Christmas Day again.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look very happy.
He got coal. This is 2 days later, 27th.
27th. Well, walls are closing in. He doesn't even know it. This is him trying to look cute with the smile. Doesn't work.
28th.
Doesn't work for you either, Ashley.
28th, and this is the 29th. I know it. It's my birthday, so I know this picture. I'll never forget it. I can't unsee it. There's a couple of them like this, right? Takes a few like this, not just one. Yeah, I thought so. Couple of angles. This is just after he'd watched the Ted Bundy.
Actually, secret about me, Sculla says he was vegan for 3 years. I'm actually been a vegetarian for 28 years. So I started when I was 12. Do the math. But I've been a vegetarian, not a vegan, just a vegetarian for 28 years. So people do that.
YouTube videos, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he could have gotten that.
Maybe he's trying to look like it because the thumbnail is of Ted Bundy on the YouTube videos, right?
Yep.
In the black hoodie.
Yep.
Little did he know he wouldn't be taking any more selfies the next day. He'd be arrested in the middle of the night trying to put his garbage into little baggies.
Aw, Dakota.
Using latex gloves. The police found him all dressed in black. So this makes sense, right? This is what he's choosing to wear in his.
Not only Stargazer says I'm a vegetarian as well. No way a vegan unalived anyone. Not only that, but being a vegan with the germ OCD issues he has, no way. He is not walking into that house and getting other people's bodily fluid all over the place and all over himself. No way. No way.
Parents' home. They found him all dressed in black. And there's a picture. I don't know if you can find it.
She just, oh my God, the blatant lies, you guys. The thing that upsets me is she is blatantly lying here, but millions of people watch her show and she's spreading false information. He was not wearing all black when they got to him at his house. Remember he was wearing navy blue shorts and a navy blue hoodie. She's such a liar. He was wearing basketball shorts. He was like comfortable, like taking out the trash.
Lindsay, that shows him in his, looks like a pantry or the parents' basement. Place is kind of littered with stuff behind him, but there's a box
Right.
of baggies on the floor.
Good sense.
Good sense? Is that what they are? Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if those are the baggies that they found him using, but he's in the kitchen doing this as well, by the way. It's the kitchen. Who does this in the kitchen of your parents' house? Ew. I mean, it's just so.
I think that girl in the background just laughed at her like, you sound dumb. You sound really, really dumb. Like, who cares where it's at? Like, what?
Everything about him.
Exactly. Who cares?
I mean, listen, everything about a quadruple killer is unappealing, but this is just next level, this peek into his personal and private life, which, by the way, I have no issues. These are forensic evidence, these photographs.
I think that's it. I can't hear her talk.
I just feel like the more we know,
she's
the more.
Okay, stop, lady. So another thing I want to talk about is, okay, has anybody thought about this angle? And I'm not saying I believe it. It's just everything's possible, right? Especially in this case. So Kaylee was said to have called Jack and texted Jack at almost 3:00 in the morning. Has anybody thought that maybe, just maybe, it was not Kaylee or Maddie, that Kaylee and Maddie had already been unalived by that point, and it was one of the perpetrators trying to lure Jack over there? And Xana, like they're using this, whoever it is using Kaylee or Maddie's phone to try and lure Jack over there. And if it's somebody that, they would know, that maybe where Jack lives and would know whatever. But also, the thing that's been bothering me that's along the same lines is Xana ordering food off of Ethan's phone from Ethan's account. Yet when the DoorDash arrived, it had Xana written on it really big. First of all, I don't know about you guys. It could just be where I live, but when they bring DoorDash, they don't handwrite your name on the bag really big. It comes with a freaking receipt that has your name and all your information on it and what you ordered. But why would it have Xana's name if it was purchased from Ethan's phone from Ethan's account? Wouldn't it have Ethan's name on it? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm sure, like, exactly, Fizzy. Like, I'm sure we've all thought about that, especially when we first saw the bag years ago. But it just doesn't make sense, and it's been bothering me. Like, these little things have really been bothering me lately. But also along the lines of what I said about maybe the Jack angle is maybe somebody else was using the phone to place an order to make it look like they were still alive at that time when they weren't. That's a possibility too. Place the order and then leave. So you're not there when, purposely say like don't knock or whatever, just leave it there. I don't know. It's just a thought. Because none of this makes sense. I just don't yeah, they blacked it out. They redacted it for some reason, but then we see it anyways. It just doesn't make sense for it to be ordered off Ethan's account and then somebody write Xana's name on it really big. I suppose she could have given her name, but at the end of the day, they still don't write your name on the bag like that. It just has a receipt that already has that information, or it would be typed out on the receipt just like you order it. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to do for today. Does anybody else know anything else good? Any good news? Any good anything? I feel like the Koberger stuff has taken a back seat just with the Charlie Kirk stuff, but I'll go ahead and put out a video tomorrow. I don't think that that's too far-fetched at this point. I mean, I've thought that for a while because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that you've got 3 cars that pull in around the same time, around the time of the crime, whether it was a little before, a little after, it doesn't matter. You've got 3 cars, but the only car that was looked into was the one in the middle. You've got Molly pulling up. They didn't know who that was, what she was doing, nothing. They didn't know whose car that was, what it was doing, nothing. Same with the SUV that pulls in at 429. But you just happen to pick out one car and it happens to match with or be similar looking to get away with saying it's Bryan Koberger's car. Like they didn't look into anything else except for all the things that had to do with Bryan Koberger, which makes sense in hindsight since that's the person you're looking into. But in the moment, it doesn't make sense. How do you only pick out his things, his car, his, whatever? It doesn't make sense. Why would you only test the swab from the button snap, but not from the red fluid on the actual sheath? It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So I think it could also be a social experiment, and they didn't think it all the way through because it doesn't make sense for them to only pick out stuff that happens to end up being Bryan Koberger's. No way. I don't even think it's his stuff. I think it's been put there on purpose. Scola. Fizzy says they have a sheet that has red fluid on it. They take a sample, have a mix with an unknown male, but instead of sending that to the lab, you take the snap swab to the lab instead. Exactly. You just say it better than I did. Exactly what I'm saying. Like that doesn't make sense. You have red fluid on there. You can see it with your eyes. You don't know what's in that snap. It could have been nothing, but yet the only piece you choose to send to the lab is a swab that might have had nothing on it. Stop it. Yeah, exactly. And then they claim that the samples were spoiled from a bad refrigerator. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Either you didn't have samples to begin with, or they were ruined on purpose, or not even ruined, just said to be ruined. So you don't have to deal with them. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All right, guys, I'm going to take Bronxy to the park. My nose is all stuffed up. I cannot breathe. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to hop off for today, but I'll put out a video tomorrow, and then the next day we'll go live again, and I'll make sure and have a few bit more things that are different to talk about instead of just looking at Ashley Banfield's ugly, cross-eyed looking face all day. But other than that, you guys do something nice for yourself. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your doggies. Bye, guys. Thank you for being here. And specifically, thank you to On Top XX and Carol H for the super stickers and super chats. Bye, guys.